Brandon, hey, we're back.
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
I'm good. We're doing another Gnostic Deluge. We talked about it in the smorgasbord. So we are going to do the... Oh, I got to get this pen away or else I'm just going to be... But
Yeah,
we're
you're
going to be doing
cooking it the whole time, right?
and it's happened. The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu.
Yeah, Lao Tzu.
And I think the one we're going to mainly go from is by
Jonathan Starr.
Jonathan Starr, which is one that Brandon mentioned that it was his favorite.
So tell the story about what happened 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so after we had our podcast or the smorgasbord, and I find myself a good addition because we were going with the Aleister Crowley one was going to be our
Yeah.
I think
And
that was the plan.
We did reference it.
Yeah, but then I was looking at different editions and I found one that I liked, and so I was like, I'm going to get it. And then I got it. I got Brandon's address and I sent him a copy of it too. And so all of a sudden,
Was it like the next day or so?
Yeah, it was the next day. Brandon sends me a picture of him opening, had received my thing, and then I get home because what was the text that you said was it was
I took a picture of them together, I think, right?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, he's got that other one that he dang it. Oh, yep. Because then we started referencing our crappy ones too.
Okay, no, I just took a picture of this
I said
So Mark sent me the Tao Te Ching.
Yeah, and then I said, nice, I'm getting mine today too.
Yeah, and it's translated by Jia Fu Feng and Jane English.
Yeah.
So.
And then and then you said, indeed you are. We got some good reading ahead, and I was kind of like, yeah, but then all of a sudden, and I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted a copy that I could, mark up with notes, and then all of a sudden I got home from work that night, and there's a two envelopes for me because there was the one I had ordered, and then there was also Brandon had the same idea of sending me a translation that he liked.
In fact, when you sent the text asking me for my address, I was actually on Amazon.
You're like, son of a gun. Did you think I was doing that?
Yeah, I
well, I guess why else would I?
I used the principle of correspondence.
No, it's all for tax purposes. Your tax write-off. I have you as an employee. You don't know it. Anyway, Brandon's. What I really like about this collection, this one, is how easily the pages open up.
Oh,
it's just like
it's a nice format, right?
Yeah, but it's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's just the pages just open up, so it just comfortably like sits in your hand. It's just weird.
And you know how I found this one, right? You've used correspondence to figure out how I found this one?
Oh, because I know you have the Ralph Waldo Emerson and also the Hermetica.
And so I was looking at other books that this Tarcher Cornerstone editions had printed, and I found this.
Yeah, if you want pretty inexpensive usually.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Way to get
$9-10.
Like different. The Hermetica is really good, or what do they call it?
They call it the Hermetica. Yeah,
I mean that translation's really good. It's very simple. You're not worrying about footnotes and stuff. If you want to get more, I guess, scholarly or whatever,
sure.
This Tarcher's not the way to go. But Tarcher's a very good, super. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about it. I'm saying it's a really nice. What is it? Usable
entry
or
level?
Just
accessible?
A nice one you can just grab.
Accessible.
And accessible. That's the word.
I thought of it.
Good job, Brandon. So and so that it's very like I said, it just like right from the get-go it just falls right open for you.
I like it.
I like the soft. Anyway,
sometimes when I'm done reading it, I just kind of
touch it. Like, you're so soft. It's like a puppy. Okay, so we got real quick. I told Brandon I was going to surprise him with.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
We were at we were at Target last week.
What is this? Hibiscus ginger beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, ooh, sweet. And I got another. This is Target's Q brand. I don't know what Q stands for.
I haven't seen it before.
Hopefully Q's for quality.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were there. And actually, I have another one that we'll try. But I want to try this one first because I was like, ooh, hibiscus. I like that.
Yo, check this out. Extracts of chili pepper, coriander, cardamom, and other natural flavors.
Dude, this sounds like it might actually be good for us. I don't know about this.
Right, so you haven't tasted these yet?
No.
This is a true ginger beer reaction then.
So these are in the little can. So you basically, these are a mixer.
Yeah, they're a mixer.
You know, so if you're going to make a Moscow Mule or something. Okay.
Actually, not bad.
No, the ginger beer is good, but with the hibiscus, I don't think it. Ooh, but it's got a nice spice to it.
And there's a little bit of an after.
Yeah, it's got a good ginger flavor. I think the hibiscus is unnecessary. But it's.
You know what? I'll say that I like it.
Yeah, I'll say it. I like it.
It's not a daily driver.
Yeah,
but I like it.
Like I like hibiscus on its own, you know, and a drink so good. Yeah. I just don't know if, you know,
but no, it's a good thing it's in a small can.
It's only a 7.5 ounce can.
The fact that it's in a little mixer can makes it so it's more accessible.
It's like those little sodas.
Yeah.
Like actually now it looks like I'm like Andre the Giant. There's a whole documentary about him, and he would drink like 24 packs of beer, but it has him holding a can of beer, and it looks like this. You know, but a 12-ounce can. His hand's so huge. I mean, actually, it looks smaller than this. I don't even think. Oops. Oh, now I'm trying to. But it actually looks smaller. His hands were so big. And that's why they call him Andre the Giant.
Because he was a giant.
That's the name.
Yeah, his name was Andre, and he was a giant.
He was one of the few giants that survived the flood.
Yeah, good man.
You know, yeah, he was seemed like a super sweet guy. You know, and I loved him in
Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into the Tao.
So what we did is the Tao has 81 sections in it. The Tao Te Ching has 81 sections. What we did is we went through our various copies. And we each narrowed down our favorite to, around 10 to 20. We wanted to do 10. Honestly, it was difficult. So we have around 10 that we narrowed our favorites down to, and then we thought about merging them. So what we're going to be going over today is the sections that me and Mark both wrote down as our favorite. And a few that we really want to go over that we did not necessarily.
Yeah, and okay, yeah. So that we have the top 5 united is and one of the things that you might be like is, well, Brandon, why didn't Brandon like any of these really good ones at the beginning? It's because he had a separate list. Is that your phone?
Hopefully, if it is.
But he had a separate list. So he was from 17 on.
Yeah,
that he put in the other ones. So there's a lot of good ones right at the beginning. So it's going to seem like for some, anyway, just to make a long story short. So what I did was I picked my top 5 from the beginning for 1 through 17, and then Brandon's top 5.
Yep.
For the rest of the book, besides the ones that we united to.
Okay.
We're like Voltron.
Yeah.
Or the Transformers.
No.
But there was 5 of them. Think about it. Because you had the body, the arms, and the legs.
There was 5 Captain Planet, I think, too.
What would be the worst? Who was the worst character? Captain Planet actually was the worst character on Captain Planet.
Probably, yeah. Okay. So
It's
what's
like the Wonder Twins or something.
Yeah, they have. There's like dozens of those.
Where
They come
it's like
together.
the one guy can only turn into water, and the girl can turn into any animal. Anyway, it's like sucks. A bucket of water. He'd be a bucket of water. Okay, but first off, he didn't realize that
I forgot what that
he could
okay.
actually turn into physical things outside of water, because if he turned into a bucket of water,
Okay.
that was so he didn't really understand his full power.
Little tat.
Yeah, the boy Wonder Twin. Anyway, but the pail of water had a face on it with eyes that would talk.
I do remember that.
And she could turn into an eagle or whatever. Anyway, Wonder Twin powers activate. So the Tao is written by Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu, whether that was his name or that means, or it's just the, it means old master. Lao Tzu.
Okay.
So
yeah, I just say it was written by him.
Yeah, Lao Tzu.
But there's like a rumor that and there's always these stories like he was leaving the city because he was a counselor and to the king, but things had gotten so bad that he was leaving, and one of the guards was like, hey, I know you're leaving, and but how about you write a book of your teachings, and that's
that like the
that's
how
when
it got how it came around.
So yeah, but okay, the title, the Tao, I have a whole little
Go for it.
spiel. Tao Te Ching is the word Tao is untranslatable. It's not really, and they even say that at the time it wasn't really a word necessarily. But they say if it is translated, they'll say the way or the path,
Yeah.
And what the?
That was you, Mark.
No! How do I turn this thing off? I was turning it all the way off.
Sorry, listeners and viewers.
Wait. It's like, wait, how do I turn? Oh. Okay. You're not going to hear any more of that.
Yeah, we'll cut this part out.
That's embarrassing. But so, anyway, it was, usually they'll translate to be the way or path.
Yeah.
But there's actually in the introduction in this one, or I'll just say, so, but one of the reasons it's untranslatable is because, it's got a big definition. They say metaphysically, it's the way things are. Psychologically, the way the human nature is constituted, deep dynamic structure of our being, that the ethically, so it's all represents all these different things.
Different layers.
Ethically, the way human beings must conduct themselves with others. Spiritually, the way of the inner work, so it's like a big, it's not just something that you could just say, oh, it's this, oh, it's the way or the path. It means a lot of things, but they all unite into this one word, at least.
That's right. And even when you're reading, even in the several sections that try and define what the Tao is, there's so many different lenses or views on what it is.
Well, and one of the things you learn right away is that the Tao that can be named is not the Tao,
Correct.
Like if you put a name on it, that's not it. So he basically says the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but one of the better, or the way that according to this introduction that I was reading, that Lao Tzu looked at it, was that the Tao is the universal and eternal principle which forms and conditions everything, or way, the reason or creative principle. Now, and then the Tao Day, day, well, is translated virtue.
Okay.
Usually, but also vitality, virility, harmony, beauty. They used an interesting thing actually out of Mark 5:30 in the Bible.
Who did this?
This is in this. Actually, this is now. I'm on to the LibriVox one, which has a good reading of it. And their introduction was really good. So I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, Matthew, Mark. What did I say? 5:30. I always go to Mark. That's probably the best book in the Bible. It's short too.
Yeah, it is.
It's only like listening to it's only a little over an hour, and it's got all the good stuff in it. So so Jesus is walking through a crowd of people, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years and had suffered many things of many physicians and had spent all that she had and was nothing better but rather grew worse. She heard that Jesus, when she heard of Jesus, came in the press behind and touched his garment. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. Now here's the key.
Okay.
And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou, who touched me? Anyway, so but like somehow he knew that something, a power, had left him, or
something profound happened.
Yeah, that a virtue had gone out of him. He felt this thing. So this is they use that in that kind of virtue, not just like virtues. Whenever we think of
good
like,
point. Okay, that's why that he was just
like
using
this
that verse.
Power.
Got it. That makes sense.
Not just virtue, like a virtuous person or whatever.
Got it.
Anyway, so I read like the whole thing, and just for that one little.
It makes sense. That's a good point. So when
it's more than
day means a virtue, when one of the translations of day is a virtue, then it makes more sense that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the a good translation of the title might be like the vitality of the Tao, or the vitality of the Tao. I don't know why I wrote that, but anyway, and then there's a one Wu Wei or Wu that they talk about it, and this isn't where woo woo comes from, but maybe it is. I don't want to be woo woo about this, but woo is translate, not acting, non-assertion or submission, okay, but not in the Buddhist way that they necessarily do it.
In the
Tao, it's not. Yeah, it's okay. The way they explain it is not acting, non-assertion, submission, but not in the way that you're just giving in or letting things go. It's they explained it as the Tao is a finding of life through rather than losing of it. You're finding your life rather than losing it.
Okay. Those that lose their life will find it.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
It's a different than whenever you think of the Buddhist philosophy. It's anyway, so there you go. There's my introduction.
That was good.
Yeah, especially whenever we went to Mark.
Yeah, that was great. I love that part. I actually cheated and just read the Wikipedia introduction to it.
Oh. Well.
It was pretty good too, but yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody always has opinions about it, but the main thing to know is that it's not translatable. So
yeah.
it's
don't spin that like debate on what it means.
Yeah.
Because then you
miss
don't know what it means.
Then you miss the very first. If you have a whole debate about it and then you read the first verse,
you're gonna be rebuked.
You're like, son of a gun, I missed the whole point. Anyway, but we're gonna skip the first one, actually. So okay, so you want to? What we'll do is we'll go every other. Like I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so right now we're doing ones that we individually picked, as far as we know. Brandon's probably going to say on a lot of the ones I picked.
What's this paper right here for?
That's your numbers.
Okay, can I write on it?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, thanks. What's the first one we're gonna do?
Number 2.
All right.
So, but you're probably going to hear Brandon say, "Oh, that's one I liked,"
I know.
because
I'll make sure they don't say that now.
well, no, I'm not saying that, but because remembering I'm having my top out of the first 17,
Yeah.
because Brandon didn't even have that on his list because he had another list that didn't merge. Anyway, so everyone recognizes beauty only because of ugliness. Everyone recognizes virtue only because of sin. Life and death are born together, difficult and easy, long and short, high and low. All these exist together. Sound and silence blend as one. Before and after arrive as one. Do it. You want to read the second half of that?
The sage acts without action and teaches without talking. All things flourish around him, and he does not refuse any of them. He gives but not to receive. He works but not for reward. He completes but not for results. He does nothing for himself in this passing world, so nothing he does ever passes.
So this one's cool. It's kind of that. What principle is this? Would this be polarity?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it's all of them in a way, but yeah.
The first part is kind of the, like, first off, you wouldn't know beauty unless there was ugly, you know.
So right away you have this
Duality,
correspondence with this dualistic view of what we just kind of went over a couple months ago was polarity, right? The duality and everything.
Yeah. Now I'm like, ooh, I need to look at my notes for that, but I won't. Yeah, I like that. But so, like, in life, I like it because there's a thing in, like, people want things to be perfect, but perfect wouldn't, like, you have to have ugly to, the bad to have the good. It's like facts of life.
Mm-hmm.
Take the good, take the bad.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Take them both, and there you have
That's
facts
right.
of life. Yeah. So, but I'm saying, like, what would it's just part of life that you can learn to even appreciate the other stuff. I don't know.
And I think when the line that says "life and death are born together"
yeah.
reminds me of Emerson's view on compensation, on how the consequence is always born with the action.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like and beauty is born with ugliness too,
Yeah.
or youth has age baked
Correct.
into it.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And I bet, so you've got that dualistic thing going on, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't have, you got to have ugliness to have beauty.
Yeah.
You got to have death and life, and long and short. Actually, yeah, this is totally that whole thing. And then, but then he goes into another kind of dualistic thing where the guy, the sage acts without action, but then he gives but not to receive. So he's doing it with kind of without the other end of the pole. Does that make
No, it does, because
he's like not.
It's more in the. I remember one of the things I liked about the principle of rhythm in the Kabbalion.
Yeah.
Was there the discussion on how once you understand how rhythm works, you can become like immune to it in a way if you go with the flow.
Yeah.
Right. And if you learn about how the math works.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of like reminds me of that, where they're not the woo that you mentioned. Like, they're not necessarily like.
Oh yeah, the what is it? Not acting, non-assertion, submit.
Yeah, it's very subtle, very like non-consequential.
Like like, and they're almost contradictory statements too. Like, he acts without action. You're like, wait, how's that possible? Teaches without talking, which would be, maybe by example or
Well,
whatever.
one of my interpretations of all this, and we see this several times, is when he says he acts without acting, is it reminds me of the whole like I think it's mentioned in the Bible a few times, like praying in the streets.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, he's doing it.
he's not
Yeah,
doing it for any
to
glory.
be seen.
So no one sees it happening.
Yeah,
It's not being like advertised.
yeah, and like teaches without talking. Like he's not out there. He's living it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is that thing. The hypocrite. How they go out and they like make their face all sad and
Correct.
dirty and I'm suffering. And where you to be seen of man, and they get their reward. That's the thing,
Exactly.
is that actually I had a book that was the Buddha in the Bible or something, and but it had a lot of stuff from here because there's a
Oh,
lot of the same.
yeah.
They teach the same things, but I'm saying,
In other
yeah,
sections, we'll see this concept of ruling without a trace, leaving no trace.
yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
what it's referring to.
Well, he's saying he's works, but not for reward. He's just working because he's not even competes, not for results.
Completes.
Completes that too.
Almost the same thing. Compete, complete.
I know. I like compete. Actually, you know what? I always, when I've done my translation to the Tao, I would put competes.
There goes the
He
non-understanding.
does
what it
nothing
means.
for himself in this passing world, so nothing he does ever passes. That's interesting.
Which reminds me of a line from the Corpus Hermeticum when referring to, or it's actually in the Hermetica, the translation from Timothy Frecki and Peter Gandy, referring to how Atom lacks nothing, so he never.
Oh, desires.
Yeah, he
He
desires.
doesn't
He
need
desires
anything.
nothing, so he's never lacking.
Yeah, this is kind of the opposite, where he has everything, so he doesn't need anything, or the
Correct.
the
The at,
all, or whatever
yeah,
you want
yeah,
to call.
exactly.
So this is kind of the same thing, but saying it in a different way. So anyway, maybe you're kind of getting this idea where like this guy is kind of like very not flowery, but almost a lot of contradictory, almost seeming contradictions. But then they're supposed to kind of trigger something in your mind where you're like, whoa, yeah, and you can actually like somehow his words are actually make these little pictures in your mind where you can actually, well, how can you act, and you can imagine, oh wait, I get how that can be. So they speak to you.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things about finding a version of this that you like,
Sure.
because there's a lot of different translations out there, and somebody might say, oh, this is the best one, this is the best one. Anybody that says that one is the best, or I'm saying, or like insists, they haven't read it, or they haven't
Correct. They
understood.
don't understand it.
Well, not that I'm all like, they have not understood it like I understand it, but I'm just saying, like right at at the beginning, I'm gonna keep making reference to the first one
the one that
without
we never.
telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then somebody will have to read it.
Yeah, we're tricking you into reading the first one.
Yeah, but because there's different ones that will hit you. So okay, so that's that first one.
Okay.
Kind of getting
That was verse.
idea.
That was the verse 2.
Mm-hmm. So Brandon, you
When we do
next.
30.
Yeah,
Okay. This is verse
I'm
30.
just gonna listen. Is it long?
No. I mean, none of them are that long, but yeah.
Okay.
Those who rule in accordance with Tao do not use force against the world. For that which is forced is likely to return. Where armies settle, nature offers nothing but briars and thorns. After a great battle has been fought, the land is cursed, the crops fail, the earth lies stripped of its motherhood. A knower of the truth does what is called for and then stops. He uses his strength but does not force things. In the same way, complete your task. Seek no reward, make no claims. Without faltering, fully choose to do what you must do. This is to live without forcing, to overcome without conquering. Things that gain a place by force will flourish for a time, but then fade away. They are not in keeping with Tao. Whatever is not in keeping with Tao will come to an early end.
All right. So that's a good one.
Yeah, it was this is kind of like a small reflection of just the immediate compensation, right?
Yeah, about kind of war or
Yeah, and it's like, hey, don't meddle with things,
yeah.
and don't, because
There's consequences.
you're gonna reap you're gonna reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And what I think was more profound though for me though was the second section where it says, "Hey, a knower of truth does what is called for and then stops."
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. The way actually this is one where this other translation has an interesting where you had the thing where it uses it just goes never take advantage of power. It says achieve results but never glory in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Achieve results but never boast. Achieve results to get results but never be proud. Achieve results because this is the natural way. Achieve results but not through violence. You can, and that's the difference, like, where sometimes you think of the Buddhist thing where it's kind of like the not letting go, but not, it's you're trying to achieve results, but you're not letting them affect you in the Tao.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. But and then at the end, what does yours say at the end? But force is followed by loss of strength. Is that what you're? Oh, it says it'd be on the last.
That
This is
things
not
that
the way of
gain
the
a
Tao.
place by force will flourish for a time, but then fade away.
Yeah.
They are not in keeping with that. Whatever is not in keeping with Tao will come to an early end.
Yeah. So force is followed by loss of strength. Get results, but don't force them. Don't boast of them. But do what you have to do.
I like Crowley's translation of, or
Okay.
interpretation of it is it's very similar, but it's if a king summoned to his aid master. If a king summons to his aid a master of the Tao, let him not advise recourse to arms. Such action certainly bringeth a corresponding reaction. Don't
Action
be so
reaction.
quick to like pull out your weapons and fight. Because you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
And then where armies are, weeds and bad harvests follow. And then he says, the good generally striketh decisively once and for all, and does not risk over boldness, and does not vaunt his victory.
This is like the counting the cost thing. It's like the first thing you do should not be to act, or it needs to be think about it instead of calling to arms, and all of a sudden you're like, oh well, why are these people suffering? And it's like, well, because the first thing you did was to act.
Totally.
So
yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think.
But get results, but know what the results are gonna, and get the results you intend too. Don't and carry. What is it that? What's his name said? Speak softly, but carry a large stick.
Who
it was Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, okay, I've heard that many times. I can't remember who said it though. Yeah.
I mean. So
no, that's totally in harmony with this, right? When you get it done the right way the first time, and you don't turn back to your.
You have it if you need it, but that is not your first the first thing you do. But but unfortunately, that's usually the way we act. That's the first thing we turn to is.
Well, and even
anger.
today when there is, and this section was referencing kind of like this battle theme or this war.
Yeah.
But even today, it's like we have this like we don't just like take care of it and bail. Like we like set up like massive. You know, we just can't stop meddling with it.
Yeah.
You know, we know we don't end.
Like, oh wait, so this caused this? Oh, how did that happen? And yeah, it's like surprise every. Well, now we're definitely there.
Yeah.
And you hear it with.
It just gets worse and worse and worse.
I mean, you hear it with foreign policy and all that. We're definitely there. Oh well, it might have been a mistake in the first place, but we can't get out. It's like what?
Yep.
That's a total contradiction. Anyway, I don't mean to. We're not getting political. This is.
Jeez, Mark is
We're busting these out. Okay, so this is by Powell and Mahoney. Craft cocktail mixers.
Yeah, it looks good.
Hopefully you don't even need the cocktail in here.
No.
It's the original ginger beer. No artificial sweeteners or flavors. So let's see. Come on, baby.
Let's do it.
Hit the spot.
Another true reaction. Wait, have you had these before?
No.
Another true reaction.
Ren.
Whoa.
That's different. There's a lot of lemon in it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I was like, what is that right up front? Actually, it's refreshing though. Yeah.
Looking for the here it is.
So it's got a lot of lemon right up front. If you're making this basically a Moscow Mule or a Mexican Mule or whatever, you get ginger beer, lime for the Moscow and then lime juice and vodka or whatever. So this one, all you would have to do is add the vodka.
Because it already has.
Brandon, did you bring the vodka?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that lemon right up front it's almost like this is almost like a lemonade with ginger in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would say. I'm saying it right here.
Mark just said that.
It's just been said.
Okay, let's go for the next one.
Okay, the next one is going to be 9 verse 9.
You would choose 9.
Yeah, you better believe I would. Actually, I like the other translation, I think. I'm going to dive into the book I bought.
This is a good one.
But I just didn't get the beginning of it. But we'll talk about that. Okay, verse 9. Better stop short than fill to the brim. Over sharpen the blade, and the edge will soon blunt. Amass a store of gold and jade, and no one can protect it. Claim wealth and titles, and disaster will follow. Retire when the work is done. This is the way of heaven. You know what? Actually, Aleister Crowley's is pretty good too. But I really like this one. Like the whole thing over sharpening the blade. Like, I'm going to get this thing so sharp. And you wear it out, actually, if you sharpen it too much.
That's true.
And, better to stop short. On this one, it says better to stop short of filling it to the top than overflowing and wasting water, What's Crowley say?
Fill not a vessel, lest it spill in carrying. Meddle not with metal with a D. Meddle not with a sharpened point by feeling it constantly, or it will soon become blunted.
Oh, I think I like the second part.
Gold and jade endanger the house of their possessor. Wealth and honors lead to arrogance and envy and bring ruin. In this way, famous and thy name becoming distinguished.
What?
Sorry.
Crowley
has a weird...
Okay, anyway. I like the golden jade part. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Crowley's...
Crowley, man.
But...
Just, write your stuff with,
So, this whole thing, if getting too much... Or they're saying there is too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's basically... You can have too much of a good thing. You can overfill your car with gas. There's this country song.
Oh, okay.
About...
Is there? Are you making this up?
Like too much fun. What's that mean? And it's like the line is it's like having a car with too much gasoline. Like that's not even possible. But it's like you can wait. You can only you only have so much you can put in a car.
Well, they just had to mention a car.
Well, it's country.
Yeah.
It's just be glad it wasn't a truck.
Yeah, no kidding.
But they're saying like, and then so they're talking about that, and then amassing all this gold and stuff. No one can protect it, or your house is not safe. It's the more you have, the more you have to protect.
Correct.
There is such thing as too much of a good thing.
Yeah. And sometimes
too much of something, not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
And so that's the basic gist of this one. I really like the way it says it. So, sharpen a blade too much, and its edge will soon be lost. Fill a house with the gold and jade, and no one can protect it. But this one, why doesn't? You know what the weird thing is that this one starts off grabbing and stuffing. There is no end to it. So kind of, but for some reason, this translation starts off with the filling
a vessel.
Better to stop short than fill to the brim. That's weird.
Just like an interpretation
something with the
of
how could those things translate differently? I don't know. Anyway, okay, so that's a good one. I like that. Would you have picked that one, Brandon? Why wasn't that on your list? I kept on saying that to him earlier.
Yeah. I believe I would have. Let me read 42. I did choose 42.
You did.
And I think that we know that 42 wasn't on your list.
Okay. Loser.
Tao gives life to the one. The one gives life to the two.
Yeah, this one wasn't.
The two gives life to the three. The three give life to 10,000 things. Okay.
This one is going to be interesting because we might have a good discussion on this.
All beings support yin and embrace yang, and the interplay of these two forces fills the universe. Yet only at the still point, between the breathing in and the breathing out, can one capture these two in perfect harmony. So I liked that part right there. And then it continues, people suffer at the thought of being without parents, without food, or without worth. Yet this is the very way that kings and lords once described themselves.
Okay, this part where I was like, yeah.
Who knows what fate may bring? One day your loss may be your fortune. One day your fortune may be your loss. The age-old lesson that others teach, I also teach. As you plant, so you reap. As you live, so you die. Know this to be the foundation of my teachings.
Okay, then actually, you know what? That's funny because I was listening to one and the way they interpreted it was different and it just didn't hit me as...
Okay.
But that's why I was like, oh, but this makes a lot of sense.
So I think it's, the thing is like, how often have you heard someone who has had like a lot of success talk about how they once had nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So if we have this concept, if we understand this concept of math, right? And like, A plus B equals C, right? And if we go, hey, correspondence. If we understand correspondence, wouldn't we all want to have nothing if it seems like so many people talk about how they once had nothing? Like why do we complain about having nothing if that seems to be the recipe for greatness?
Look, I came up from nothing. That was actually, where did I hear that? I just heard that recently.
Recently?
Somebody was talking about, gosh dang it, it's about, the end was like, yeah, something about nothing and having nothing or nothing accomplished it. Something like that. It was just, anyway, I don't remember. Hey, sorry.
So, I mean, on the surface, it's basically it's one of many verses in the Tao Te Ching that basically tell the story of you plant, you as you plant, so you reap, right? Mm-hmm. The whole, we see that over and over, that theme over and over. But this one, I kind of like the emphasis on like, hey, having nothing is the first step to having something.
Yeah, one day your loss may be your fortune. That's what you're.
Yeah.
One day your fortune may be your. Or is gonna be. You're gonna lose it. You're gonna gain it.
Yeah. So like, if you have something now, then you let it be known that you will lose it, right?
Yeah.
But if you have nothing now, then you only have to gain.
Yeah. It's kind of like you take the good, you take the bad. Anyway, but okay. Well, so is that what he's talking about at the beginning? The Tao gives life to the one gives life to the two give life to three. I thought that was more of a hermetic sense. Like, okay, you had the all, right? He's the one, and then the one created the binary,
Mm-hmm.
but then the one and the two create everything else. The binary creates the world
Yeah, I
as
don't know.
we know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not
What's
sure.
what's Alistair say?
Oh, that's a good point. His says, here, Roman numerals.
Dang it!
I know. Here it is. The Tao formulated the one exhaled the two. Oh, he's taking it where you did.
Yeah.
The one exhaled the two were parents of the three were parents of all things.
Yes.
All things passed from obscurity to manifestation, inspired harmoniously by the breath of the void.
Or the Breath of the Wild. Have you played that?
No,
Oh, it's a great game.
I've heard it is.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, so he kind of goes along. That's one thing I like about the Aleister Crowley. Whenever his one is that he takes things kind of, if you've studied any kind of hermetic stuff, he kind of interprets it in that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it is kind of like that one, the two. You know, that's what I thought of whenever I.
Yeah, good point. I didn't catch that.
The binary.
Yeah.
Like it comes from the Tao, whatever that creative force was, boink, and then all of a sudden everything else comes, but then is supposed to go back into it, Anyway,
It's a good thing I chose that one.
dude, Brandon, you were inspired. What the heck was I thinking? Okay, verse 11. Oh, okay. Wu is nothingness, emptiness, non-existence. Oh, that's what that.
Yeah, this is that one that we.
First, they say that right at the beginning, just to let us know. So 30 spokes of a wheel all join at a common hub, yet only the hole at the center allows the wheel to spin. Okay, so clay is molded to form a cup, yet only the space within allows the cup to hold water. Walls are joined to make a room, yet only by cutting out a door and a window can one enter the room to live there. Okay. Thus, when a thing has existence alone, it is a mere dead weight. Only when it has wu does it have life. Okay, I don't like this interpretation of it.
Get that one out.
Get out of here. I'm going. The one I listened to was so good. Okay. Here it is. Shape clay into a vessel. It is the space within that makes it useful. This is what I like this. Cut doors and windows for a room and put up walls too. It is the holes that make it useful. Therefore, profit comes from what is there. Usefulness from what is not there. I like that interpretation better.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me. It's interesting. Like just the room. It's the space within a room. That makes it important. The walls are just put up to, create the room, but it's the empty space that makes it what it is.
That was deep.
Just a little something Lao Tzu came up with. But I'm saying, can you see how different the ways?
Sometimes
the wording is just like, oh, that one's so much better. That's why you kind of look around at different ones because they'll hit you different.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that there would be that much different sometimes, but sometimes they're very similar, and then every once in a while, like they just like it's almost like they saw something and they injected their interpretation a little freely into what they were saying.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So I turned to the Jia Fu Feng and Jane English translation for that one.
Yeah,
Just
that
to
was
let
good.
you know.
That was good.
I had to.
You just had it.
I couldn't bear it.
You just had to do it.
Man, this ginger beer is just not hit. It's too much
Yeah.
lemon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going for.
It tastes like Have you ever had that?
Like I said. Oh, go.
You ever had that? I forget what it's called, but it has like a golfer on it. It's like a.
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes.
Arnold Palmer.
That's what it tastes like.
If you want one,
Yes,
I
do.
just can't do it.
I'll take it.
I can't. I give up. Okay.
All right. Here's 52. Did you have this one, or was did we
No,
both?
this. Hey,
this
Brandon,
is just me?
you know the ones I have. We have together. I mean.
I do.
Yeah. Well, because they won't be on your list because
Got it.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. 52.
We are totally united on the other list. I can't believe you would even pick 52. Let me see what it says.
Here we go. That which creates the universe is the mother of the world. By knowing the mother, one knows her children. By knowing her children, one comes to know her. Such is their unity, that one does not exist without the other. Fully embrace your life, and you will share in the glory of creation. The mother herself will be your guardian, and all her creation will be your guide. Stay with the mother, shut the mouth, close the gates, and you are never in trouble. Abandon the mother, open your mouth, be busy with others, and you are beyond all hope of rescue. Seeing your own smallness is called insight. Honoring your own tenderness is called strength.
Yeah, I didn't get this one.
Oh, there's
That's why.
more.
Oh my
There's more. I
gosh.
think the more is profound.
Oh,
Okay.
that's where it happens. Hey,
Yeah.
Brandon, if you want, you don't have to read the whole thing. Sometimes some of them, as you know, on when I marked them, I was like, oh, just the end. Or
Sure. The sun in all its glory reveals but a passing world. Only the inner light
Ooh,
illumines
this is where we
eternity.
get to it.
Only that light can guide us back home. Have faith. Follow your own shining. Be aware of your own awareness. On the darkest nights, you will not stumble. On the brightest days, you will not blink. This is called the practice of eternal light.
Okay, the first part, I don't know what it was. This last part though, wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Follow your own light.
Yeah, like that in The Shining. Follow your own shining.
Yeah,
Remember The Shining, the movie?
I remember
He's
it.
like, that's The Shining.
Yes,
It's a little kid.
this is a different.
It saved him. Saved Timmy or Jimmy or Doc.
like
whatever.
totally different name. Yeah, so I like that. The sun, the brightest thing with the most light that we can see, reveals but a passing world.
That's cool. That's one thing that if you
Your own light.
contemplate, his stuff, it makes you can change the way you look at the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So go ahead. You were saying your own light.
Oh, in your own. See, so the sun shows a dying world. Your own light shows a
Eternity. It says illuminates eternity.
yeah.
And it's the only light that can guide us back home. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
Use that light inside of you.
I'm really confused
And actually,
why you didn't choose that one.
That's gonna. Well, because I knew that the next one I chose
We'll do the same thing.
would complement.
Oh, cool! I can't wait.
Dang it! Hopefully this is the one. Dang, where's that one about the senses?
Now Mark's gonna try really hard to find one that's as good
No,
as that.
I'm supposed to go to 14. Okay. How about this then?
Oh, 14 is a good one.
Yeah, actually, this does go with it.
Yeah.
Eyes look but cannot see. Ears listen but cannot hear it. Hands grasp but cannot touch it. Beyond the senses lie the great unity, invisible, inaudible, and tangible. Where it rises up appears bright. What settles down appears dark. Yet there is neither darkness nor light, just an unbroken dance of shadows. So poetic.
Yeah, very poetic.
From nothingness to fullness and back again to nothingness. This formless form, this imageless image, cannot be grasped by the mind or might. Try to face it. In what place will you stand? Try to follow it. To what place will you go?
Yeah.
Know that which is beyond all beginnings, and you will know everything here and now. Know everything in this moment, and you will know the eternal Tao.
That was
Ooh,
kind of
they
like a
even
poem.
rhymed.
Yeah, they kind of rhymed it at the end.
Whoa.
Jonathan.
Johnny. Nice. No, so that guy, like if you're trying to find it with like I said, with the sun, you're looking at the sun's brightening up this world, but those things that you're seeing are, but what was it? 40 something?
42. Oh, it was the one I just read?
Yeah.
52.
Is you're looking around. Well, now I'm corresponding it to the sun in all its glory, the brightest, our brightest star or whatever, reveals but a passing world. And in order to see, you have to look within. The inner illuminates. It totally went with yours, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, I feel rebuked.
What the heck? How dare you? How dare you?
So, do you remember the when we were? You remember?
Oh, verse 12 was the one I was thinking about. That also goes with the 5 colors blind the eye.
Oh, I remember that one.
The 5 tones deafen the ear. The 5 flavors dull the palate. Anyway, the kind of like the sense perceptions are blinding you. Like their senses meant to help you, but we're
relying on those alone.
We're overwhelmed, and we lose, the real perception, the inner perception, I guess. And that's why I was like, oh, this one's gonna go right with it. But the other one did too. So okay, but like just this whole kind of contradiction. Eyes can't see it. It's like
everything is a play on the whole dualism.
Yeah,
the half truths.
Well, it's like all of a sudden like a sphinx, or not a harpy, a sphinx. Who asked the riddles?
Sphinx.
Yeah, I think so.
From what epic or story?
Just
harpies don't do it. I don't.
No, harpies definitely don't. They just like screech and stuff. Okay, but it's like all of a sudden. Some hero comes up, and then all of a sudden the Sphinx, comes up to him, and he's like, "None shall pass."
Sure.
And then, unless you answer this
a riddle.
Eyes can't see it, ears can't hear it, hands can't grasp it.
Isn't that a riddle from the Hobbit? Isn't that? It sounded like.
Oh, I think it was the ring.
That Golem was.
It was the ring. Like, it's round and it's in my pocket. Whatever it was, but anyway, so it's kind of like, what is it, so, but it's the contradiction that these things are, the world we see in front of us is important and everything, but to grasp, it's more than just actually being able to grasp something or see something or smell something or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is the whole thing plays on the dualism.
Dude, your mind will be blown if you really contemplate these things.
I was gonna, as I think we're about halfway, I wanted to mention, when you were reading the Kybalion, did you ever I'm sure that you did. I know I did many times. Did you ever read a chapter and go, this is like all of these principles are all talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
Like they're all the same.
Yeah.
Everything I'm reading here, like, whoa, this is really profound. But it's actually the same thing that I just read, in a way. It's just a different way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. But because it explains it, and it seems the same, but it's different enough that you're like, whoa, It's kind of like, well, look at it in this way.
Sure.
It's just going, I guess it would be like, just going around, a house or something, oh, well, you can see it from this angle. It's the same house, but then you go to another part,
Oh, that's pretty profound,
or
Mark.
something.
Yeah,
I
good
don't
point.
know.
Nice. That was a good analogy.
And then it's the space, but it's actually the space inside that's the real important thing. You know what
What's
I'm talking
useful? Yeah.
about? Like what?
You can't.
But it's
You can't.
the emptiness, man. You could just tear down the whole house.
You can't live
Think
in the
about it.
wall.
Yeah, unless you're the Littles. They live in the walls.
Yeah, good. I love the Littles.
Or Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
That's right. Jerry did too.
Hey, Brandon. It's the space inside the walls for the mice. Okay. So you.
68.
68. Dude, why didn't you pick 69?
Yeah, I was that close. Let me see.
What is
Oh, you know what? I did pick 69 at first too.
You did?
But they both are very similar. 68 and 69 both talk about the same thing, kind of.
Okay.
Okay. So I did.
Yeah,
so
I think
I chose one.
I looked at 69. It doesn't seem as good.
Yeah. The best warrior leads without haste, fights without anger, overcomes without confrontation. He puts himself below and brings out the highest in his men. This is the virtue of not confronting, of working with the abilities you have, of complying with the laws of heaven. This is the ancient path that leads to perfection. What I want, my take, the reason why I put the 4 stars on this one, was because, the very first line there, leads without haste. Like, I think like one of the things I've been really learning lately is I'm acting too quickly about things, and then I end up regretting moving so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just need to slow down.
Yeah.
And think about it before you do it.
Yeah. Well, a leader's,
and which is a
thought.
reoccurring theme in this is slow down.
Yeah, just because you're leading doesn't mean you have to take people somewhere either. You don't have to rush into it.
Yeah.
Like, you're the leader. Oh, well then here we go. Yeah, a real leader will contemplate or, think about what needs to be done and then act and take, say their troops or whatever
and
into
if you consider that, and then you consider this last point, which this is the ancient path that leads to perfection. I thought, 68 is worth mentioning because it's like, yeah, slow down, think things through. This is what leads to perfection.
Well, I think the second thing after that, fights without anger, is it's
pretty cool.
Huge.
Yeah.
Like you're not being blinded by that anger. You're fighting for what needs to be, kind of
like we mentioned earlier.
What needs to be done.
Get it done.
You're acting, but not with passion,
Yeah.
But fights without anger.
When I fight people, I don't use anger.
It's totally love.
I hug them.
Like, I hugged him into a hugged him to death.
I hugged him.
That's Brandon's finishing move. The bear hug.
Hugging them into a chokehold.
All right. Like, there's like a tear coming down your cheek as you're hugging them to death. It's like a.
This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
Where
I have I can picture something in my mind.
There's anyway. Okay.
That's what I say when I fight someone. This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
This is gonna hurt me. Yeah. He puts himself below and and this is also good for just a leader. Puts himself below and brings out the highest in his men. He's the leader, but he's not looking to
Yeah.
Like, that's what you always hear about whenever not somebody that's like, I do it, always looking for all the praise and everything. He's trying to bring out the best in his men. So, good one, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude, that's incredible. Hug it out, man. And he gives all of his warriors hugs.
Hugs.
Okay. Why is it?
You're like, why did I choose this one?
Darn it. Maybe it's the other one. I think the Jia Fu Fang in Jane English translation might be my go-to for this one. Please be good.
Or else I'm gonna be so embarrassed.
Empty yourself of everything, and you can compare if you want
Yeah.
to see if there's. Empty yourself of everything. Let the mind become still. The 10,000 things rise and fall.
Oh, I like this
Why
one.
the self watches their return. They grow and flourish and then return to the source. Returning to the source is stillness, which is the way of nature. The way of nature is unchanging. Knowing constancy is insight. Not knowing constancy, that's the word they use.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Leads to disaster. Knowing constancy, the mind is open. With an open mind, you will be open-hearted. Being open-hearted, you will act royally. Being royal, you will attain the divine. Being divine, you will be at one with the Tao. Being at one with the Tao is eternal. And though the body dies, the Tao will never pass away.
How
I like
beautiful.
that one.
Yeah.
What's this one say? It just doesn't seem to.
No, it's not as.
It's not as poetic.
No, it's not. Get it.
I just like the way that they're walking through the step. You know, you're emptying yourself of everything. As you do that, your mind becomes still. Then all of a sudden, everything else is the 10,000 things in
that.
the world
The 10,000 things
are rising and falling. But guess what you're doing? You're just watching them. While they're not bugging you, and then they grow and flourish and return to the source, and then all of a sudden that stillness and just the way it flows is really cool. And the steps of knowing constancy is insight, and as you're constant, your mind is open. An open mind brings out being open-hearted, and then you become royal and attain the divine, and then you're in the Tao. That's cool. I just like the way. I think it flowed really well and was like one of those ones that you're like, whoa, man.
You probably had to take a break after
Like,
that one, right?
Yeah, I had to take a bathroom break. I don't know why. For some reason.
Just needed to purge.
I just needed to wash my face, freshen up.
Take a little look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. I was like, really? Whoa, that's deep.
So let's see what you think about 76. This is what I got.
Ooh, 76. Wait, the spirit of 76. Let's see if it lives up to the hype.
Let's see. When life this one's good. Now I remember which one this is. When life begins, we are tender and weak. When life ends, we are stiff and rigid. All things, including the grass and trees, are soft and pliable in life, dry and brittle in death. So the soft and supple are the companions of life, while the stiff and unyielding are the companions of death.
Ooh, I like it.
An army that cannot yield will be defeated. A tree that cannot bend will crack in the wind.
Ooh.
Thus, by nature's own decree, the hard and strong are defeated, while the soft and gentle are triumphant.
Nice.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one that might be in the future about water.
Oh, yes.
Actually, I think that's the next.
It might be, because we have 77 as well.
78 is the one. But anyway.
Cool.
But no, that's really cool. Like, that's really, I like the imagery in there about the stiff and rigid being death. Like, if you know somebody that's just, set in their ways and everything, this is just the way I do it.
Yeah, totally stubborn.
They're dead. They're the Walking Dead, man.
Yeah, you gotta be flexible, and you gotta be nimble.
Yeah.
And
Well, think about it. A baby its arm can bend and all kinds of, fall and all this stuff and still gets up,
Yeah.
But just comparing the what is the stiff and unyielding are the companions of death, while the soft and supple are the companions of life. We need to be soft and supple. And you can be strong too at the same time.
Sure.
But don't be rigid.
No.
Don't be stiff and unyielding. Don't be that person. Nobody likes that person.
Yeah, standing your ground and and being stubborn and insisting that you don't move. I don't know if that's ever like a path that has led to, you know,
What was that one?
success.
Oh, dang it. Now I want to go back to the one you read. But I think I looked in it here because I liked the way it was. Dang it.
Oh, did I read the wrong version on
No,
one?
no. I'm saying no. I just said, oh, I like the way this one says it about it was about the person being like standing but not.
But not sitting.
And jumping but not hopping. No, it might have been your first one. 30. Oh yeah, this is it. Achieve results, but never glory in them. Achieve results. You're like, hey, do your thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't need to. You don't have to. Like, oh, look what I did.
Yeah.
Or, maybe they didn't go quite with it, but nope, it didn't.
Give it out.
Sounded like a good idea at the time. Yeah, so I like that though. So to be stiff and rigid, rigor mortis. I mean, you're dead. That's basically what I was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's death.
Yeah.
You're dead. To be soft and supple is to be living, man.
Yeah, exactly. I like the word supple.
I want to be above ground, not 6 feet under. So, well, there we go. There's our ununited front.
Oh, we have one more.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, 77?
Yeah. Want me to just get it out of the way right now?
Yeah. No, that's yeah, go for it.
Okay. This is actually a little bit like the last one. Heaven operates like the bending of a bow. The high it pulls down, the low it brings up. It takes from that which has too much and gives to that which has too little. The way of man is otherwise. He takes from that which is depleted and gives to that which has too much.
Okay. Like the bending of a bow.
So it's saying heaven is like a bending of a bow. The high it pulls down, the low it brings up. It takes, so heaven takes from that which has too much. Like heaven follows the law of compensation.
Compensation.
Yeah.
You wrote compensation.
I think I did write that on this one, yeah. While it gives to that which has too little. So it compensates, right? The nature compensates.
Yeah.
It makes up. Humans, they
do the opposite.
Yeah, man takes from that which has nothing, which is depleted, and he gives to that which has too much. Who can offer an abundance to the world? One who has Tao. Such a one can give like the heavens. The sage gives without relying on his own effort. He completes or competes, right?
That's the translation I prefer.
He completes without waiting for reward. So that's a translation you prefer?
Just because I misspoke it.
He completes without waiting for reward. He illumines or illuminates without stepping from the shadow.
I think competes would work there, though.
Yeah.
Read 78 while you're...
Yeah.
Because actually that 78 is
This
not
is the one about
our,
water.
It's not our united front. So
Nothing in this world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for attacking the hard and strong, none can triumph so easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yes.
Soft, supple, hard, and
Yep.
stiff.
It is weak, yet none can equal it. It is soft, yet none can damage it. It is yielding, but none can wear it away.
That's right.
Everyone knows that the soft overcomes the hard, and the yielding triumphs over the rigid. Why then so little faith?
Yeah.
Why can no one practice it?
Yeah.
So the sages say, fulfill even the lowest position, love even the weakest creature. Then you will be called Lord of every offering, King of all below heaven.
There we go.
Yeah. I think, what's his name? There's a guy who's a Buddhist guy. His name is Alan Watts.
I've heard him. You know what? I keep seeing him pop up on different.
Oh, really? He
things.
talks. He gives a good. He has a
I thought he was a musician.
oh no, he's like this
No.
American. He's like an American Buddhist guy who is really kind of cool. He has a talk that he gives, and it's about water and he does a lot of like symbolism about how we should be like water.
Yeah.
He got it from here.
Well, water, I mean, it made the Grand Canyon.
He talks about how
You
like
know, or
exactly, but he
whatever.
talks about how like if you pour a cup of water on the ground in some dirt and you kind of watch it trickle, you'll find it take all the paths of least resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes up to like a ledge, it won't like try and push itself over the ledge. It just goes around it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's and how
But it can build up and go over too.
if there's
That's
no
what I'm
way
saying.
around it, then it will eventually build up and go
Yeah,
over it.
it can overcome everything.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Try to beat water. Try.
Yeah. Like
Think
that,
about it. And the
bucket,
water.
then the kid turned into a bucket of water.
He's the most powerful. Oh my gosh. We just figured out that the League of Justice, the most powerful superhero was the boy Wonder Twin.
I've always wondered, why is there no water man?
He's the Wonder Twin.
You know, they have like fireman and they have like, but okay, I guess yeah, you're right. He's waterman.
Or maybe it was the monkey that was the most powerful. Remember the little Eep or whatever his name is?
Yes, I remember that.
The stupid monkey. The comic relief.
Oh man, the snarf of that show.
Yeah. Yeah, every one of those cartoons from then, like
The Orko.
You got Orko, which Orko was never funny. I never laughed.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't funny. He was just stupid.
There was
Glomer
one of the gummy
from
bear.
Punky Brewster. The
Some of
Punky
the-
Brewster cartoon.
Some of these shows are old, man.
Yeah. Anyway, but oh, and water can take the shape of whatever it's in.
Yep. It's so supple.
Supple.
It's my word. I'm gonna say that word about 15 times today, probably.
Supple.
Supple.
Like, oh. Yeah.
Kind of like Mark's shirt. Sup.
Sup. That's funny, Brandon. Nice.
Supple. That's why you wore that, right?
Yeah. That's the word of the day. So, okay, so now we have our top 5 united.
Okay.
Like the Wonder Twins activate.
So everything we did so far was ununited.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Like
This is gonna.
I hated everything you said. You hated everything I said.
So this is gonna be the best part of this episode now, right? This is where we're like, we're gonna have
We're
the
in total
passion of
agreement.
1,000 suns and an agreement.
Yeah,
about
where
this.
we don't. I don't have to be like, oh well, explain that.
This is gonna be like 10,000 things.
Yeah, we shall speak with one voice. Like,
Let's
do this. Okay, so our top 5 united starts.
We already did 9.
No,
Oh, okay.
right here. Starts with number 28. Brandon.
Let's do it.
We shall read with one voice. Okay, wait.
I don't like Crowley's interpretation of this one, by the way.
You don't?
Yeah, he lets his narrow-mindedness in a certain way get in the way, I think. But anyways,
Okay, I'll take the girl part. You take the guy part. That's...
Crowley does this. Here's what Crowley does, and he actually got in trouble. One of his weaknesses was around gender, right?
Well, he ended up. This is early Crowley, before he got into all the sex magic and all that stuff. Before he came to Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
That we know, because he was held in really high regard for a long time, and then
he
kind of became
a little obsessed
a
about
little bit of
something.
a joke, or not a joke, but he just went off on his own.
So the way that he takes the first line is balance thy male strength with thy female weakness. Okay.
Oh, take that, chicks.
Yeah. Okay, here's what...
That's Crowley's words.
Those
Crowley's
are
words.
Crowley's, not ours.
Crowley.
Here's what Jonathan Starr translates it as. I'll be interested in how Ursula Le Guin does. I'll look at that later. Hold your male side with your female side. Hold your bright side with your dull side. There's a dualism in everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold your high side with your low side. Then you will be able to hold the whole world. When the opposing forces unite within, there comes a power abundant in its giving and unerring in its effect. Flowing through everything, it returns one to the first breath. Guiding everything returns one to no limits.
No limits.
Embracing everything, it returns one to the uncarved block.
Okay,
right?
this is a cool part.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is pretty boring so far. Okay, this is the good part right here.
Well, no.
It's the uncarved block that I liked. When the block is divided, it becomes something useful, and leaders rule with a few pieces of it, but the sage holds the block complete. Mm-hmm. Holding all things within himself, he preserves the great unity which cannot be ruled or divided.
Okay, I think this last part is the thing that actually brings it together, and it's talking about uniting anyway. But it's like, like leaders they're using parts of different parts, like the dole, or the different sides.
Mm-hmm.
They're not using the whole thing, like the male and female kind
Correct.
of thing. But the sage is taking the complete unity, and using it all, and it,
Exactly.
So, but I like
because of the understanding of the understanding of balance.
Yeah, but if you just look at in the political system, was what you're seeing is nobody. There's not a uniting thing. They're playing one side or the other kind of thing.
Yeah.
And actually,
there's no you just can't find the harmony.
Or they're playing people against each other, and that's the way they. What did she say?
Hers is dumb.
Hers the worst.
Probably. Knowing man and staying woman, be the riverbed of the world.
She was deep.
Yeah.
The riverbed. That's deep. But yeah, so like taking these things that see the polarity. This is, you can go into our thing on gender.
Mm-hmm.
You use both.
Yeah,
you use it all. You
make sure that you listen to our gender episode.
Yeah,
it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago.
That one's tops, and it's not what you think.
No, it's not about gender at all.
Yeah, it will not. Yeah, not gender as not the. But yeah, so yeah, this was a good one, Brandon.
Yeah, thanks.
That we both picked.
Thanks for choosing that. Us
united we stand, divided we fall. Think about that. Think about this. This is our first united top 5. And we chose this as a block, undivided, as sages do, a block complete, holding all things within, and we're preserving the great unity of this podcast.
Yes, we are.
And
we keep the block together.
So hold your male side with your female side. Hold your bright side with your dull side. Hold it all together. It's there. Have you listened or read the I Ching?
No.
Or no, Wu Wei.
Yeah, I Ching is.
Yeah,
no,
that's totally different.
No, I haven't. Not that either.
Wu Wei. Well, Brandon's hungry.
Yeah, my stomach growled just now. If you heard that.
But on the LibriVox one, there's the Wu Wei. It's the second book, and it's really good.
I'll have to listen to that.
We might want to do that very soon.
I'll look into it.
Like the very first book of that one, has a lot of neat doctrines.
Okay.
Like whoa. But why was they going there? I don't know. But just saying, kind of like the ugliness and beauty. Back to the, it's all united. It's all part of the great whole kind of thing.
Totally.
Okay. So
I agree.
So next
31
of our top.
And 31's a good one. I'm glad that you also chose 31.
You know what, Brandon? You've got impeccable taste.
Yes.
I'm going to say.
Yes, I do.
So even the finest warrior is defeated when he goes against natural law. Okay, I like the other one though. Dang it.
Go for the other one.
We're united, but not united on the interpretation. This is where we start dividing that block. Okay. Oh no, actually, we're sticking with this.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the finest warrior is defeated when he goes against natural law. By his own hand he is doomed, and all creatures are likely to despise him. One who knows Tao never turns from life's calling. When at home, he honors the side of rest. When at war, he honors the side of action. Is this right? Which one? What do you have?
No, keep on going.
Oh, okay.
I just now noticed something, and I'll talk about it later.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Peace and tranquility are what he holds most dear, so he does not obtain weapons, but when their use is unavoidable, he employs them with fortitude and zeal. Do not flaunt your excellence, do not rejoice over victory. With the loss of others, weep with sorrow and grief.
Yes, I do.
After winning a battle, do not celebrate, observe the rites of a funeral. One who is bound to action, proud of victory, and delights in misfortune of others will never gain a thing from this world below heaven.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did
That
like
one was
31.
that one was okay.
Yeah, what the heck?
I'm not sure why we
why
both...
were we united on that one? Okay, I like the way that weapons are instruments of fear. They are not tools of the wise. They use them only when there is no choice. Peace and quiet are dear to their hearts, and victory, no cause for rejoicing. If you rejoice in victory, then you delight in killing. If you delight in killing, you cannot fulfill yourself. So, I don't know why we chose that one.
Yeah,
Brandon,
that
I think
one
it was...
sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what I thought. I mean, I think I like the idea that they use that, basically the warrior kind of thing. When you're at home, you're resting. When you're at war, you're in action.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you use weapons when their use is unavoidable. You don't just use them willy-nilly. They're actually weapons of war, kind of thing.
Which I think maybe.
But I like the idea that they're saying you can use them. It's okay to use them, because there's a lot of things that are like you never lift. And
I think I agree.
And I don't say that people that believe that are wrong or whatever. I just believe that there is a time where...
Exactly. I think that one reason why this one wasn't as profound as we thought it was is because we've already read a few that kind of cover this concept a little bit already, and we're like, we're getting bored of like the
I thought United Front was going to be like, whoa.
Should have done the United Front at first.
We should have, because now we're just in for disappointment. Let's see what 36 has to say.
The rest.
Jeez, man.
The
rest
so
are like,
oh
wait, didn't we already read? Oh no, this one's good.
So listen, what I noticed is my favorite one isn't on that list.
It's not?
No.
What's your favorite
17.
one? That's your favorite? Okay, well, let's see if we can unite under 17.
Okay. I just now noticed that. I'm like, because this one, the one we just read, mentioned something that 17 uses a word that 17 also uses. Right? Wait. Yes.
This is your best one.
This is my favorite one.
All right. Of the whole book.
I think so.
Okay.
Should we do it right now, or should we wait to the end because it's so profound?
Okay, yeah, let's wait to the end.
Okay.
Because Brandon's going to blow our minds at the end. Okay, but this one's really good.
Which one's this? 36?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, this one's good. Watch, we're gonna read it and go. Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah. Here we go. Contraction pulls at that which extends too far. Weakness pulls at that which strengthens too much. Ruin pulls at that which rises too high. Mm-hmm. Loss pulls at life when you fill it with too much stuff. The lesson here is called the wisdom of obscurity.
Remember that.
Yes. The wisdom of obscurity, in quotes.
Yes.
The gentle outlast the strong, the obscure outlast the obvious. Hence, a fish that ventures from deep water is soon snagged by a net. A country that reveals its strength is soon conquered by an enemy.
You know what? I guess this goes to
Keep it all in. Keep it all in. Just like contain yourself.
yeah. Don't go too far because that which pulls too far is gonna fall. Like if your strength, if you're say you're lifting weights, the strength, like I'm gonna be the huge, and you keep pushing and pushing. Eventually, that strength will lead to weakness because your body won't be able to take it.
This is like the hermetic. The pendulum swing to the right equals the pendulum swing to the left, or the distance the pendulum swings to the right is the distance it swings to the left.
Yeah.
Right. Like what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like I remember we were kind of talking about how like it's almost better to just like not let to just like be very subtle.
Yeah.
Like
don't overfill the bucket.
yeah, because
It's
if you go too high, you're gonna have to go that low.
Yeah. Well, and this one goes with the thing that we were talking about with you're sharpening your axe too much. It's gonna dull. You'll actually end up dulling the blade. But I like the ruin pools at that which rises too high. Like you imagine the Leaning Tower of Pizza, not pizza, but or something. It's too you. It can only go to a certain height, and if you keep building and building, it's gonna fall down.
Yeah, yeah.
So just be. They're not saying just not do anything or whatever. Just be moderate, kind of thing.
Moderation.
Yeah.
Balanced. Yeah.
It's the wisdom of obscurity, whatever that means. But remember that phrase.
The wisdom of obscurity.
Yeah. So anyway, the next one is 47. Yeah, the funny thing is that now we can relate all of the ones we've read.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one that a couple times was pretty profound to me.
Oh.
This one might be one of my
Okay.
This might be my all-time favorite now. No, but this one's good. Without going outside, one can know the whole world.
I like that.
Without looking out the window, one can see the ways of heaven. The farther one goes, the less one knows. The sage does not go, yet he knows. He does not look, yet he sees. He does not do, yet all is done.
Yeah, I like that. I like the this kind of reminds me of like the armchair scholar. Never really leaves. But it's not. I mean, the idea here I think has to do with like what you can the greatest adventure that you can have, the most that you can find is within.
Yeah.
And it's not like out there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, without going outside, one can know the whole world. It's like, yeah, you can, be the world traveler or whatever, or be out in life and still not learn anything.
Sure. And you also, I'm not sure if this is a meaning that Lao Tzu was trying to articulate here, but the further you go, the more things there are to know, and so the amount of things you know become less and less because the what I'm saying, the list of possibilities of things to know becomes greater.
Yeah,
and so you become less proficient at what you actually know.
Yeah,
if you keep yourself in one spot, you can become a master.
The further one goes, the less one knows.
Yeah,
the more you learn. That's the old thing. The more I learn, or the more I know. Wait, the more I learn, the less I.
Dude, I don't even know what you're trying to say.
That I don't know anything.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. The more I learn, the less I know. Something like that. That's what he said.
You know what? I think I know what you're trying to say, and you might have said it, and it is just worn its.
You just realize that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Something.
The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything, or something like that. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. We just slaughtered it.
Gosh dang it. We're
Hey,
no
mate,
loud Sues, okay?
go ahead and leave
I
in the
mean, we're
comment.
no
Go ahead and leave in the comments what we're actually trying to say.
we're no Jonathan Starr.
Yeah.
Jonathan, give us the words, please. So, but anyway, for some reason this struck me because it's that inside work
Mm-hmm.
that actually creates what we perceive even outside. How about that?
There you go.
I'm reaching.
Yeah, it's
Like,
good. It's a good one. It's
That's
good
insane.
sound.
So you change the inside, all that stuff that you see on the outside will change too.
And it's beautiful.
It'll be beautiful, even with the ugly.
I'm kind of disappointed that we both chose 67
Gosh dang it!
because it's so long. It looks like.
Oh, it's one of these long boys. Like,
Oh, but it's a good one though.
how about
Oh, this is a good one.
we do this? Okay, you read the first part. I'll read the second part. You read the third part.
Okay. There's only 2 parts, but yeah.
No, well I know, but I'm saying the next page.
Okay, sure. Go for it.
No, you read the first.
I'm the first one? Okay.
Because then yeah.
All the world talks about my Tao with such familiarity. What folly! Tao is not something found at the marketplace or passed on from father to son. It is not something gained by knowing or lost by forgetting. If Tao were like this, it would have been lost and forgotten long ago.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, I have 3 treasures that I cherish and hold dear. The first one is love. The first is love. The second, moderation. The third is humility, and that's I'm totally humble.
Yes.
With love, one is fearless. With moderation, one is abundant. With humility, one can fill the highest position. Now, if one is fearless but has no love, abundant but has no moderation, rises up but has no humility, surely he is doomed.
Doomed indeed. Love vanquishes all attackers. It is impregnable in defense. What heaven wants to protect someone, does it send? When heaven wants to protect someone, does it send an army? No, it protects him with love.
Aww.
Like the whole me fighting with love.
Oh yeah. Like, and you do not want to get slaughtered by love. That's not the way to go.
No, that's a terrible.
But you will
horrible
die
way
with
to
a
go.
smile on your face. Okay, so I like the beginning a lot.
Yeah, I think that's probably why we chose it.
Just kind of the marketplace, like the Tao is not just some dime novel or
Yeah.
or even something that can be bought, or because there's so many books out there, and and there's all full of good ideas and whatever.
You don't go to the Tao; it comes to you.
Yeah, it's not,
and
found.
It only comes to you when you stop trying to obtain it, right?
Yeah,
because it can't be obtained, right?
Is not gained by knowing or lost by forgetting. And it says, the more I learn, the less I know. Oh my gosh, no. But yeah, it's just not some commonplace thing. It can't, and this is important, and I think a lot of parents don't realize this, is that I know my parents, they just sometimes would have assumed, oh, well, we do it, so my kids are going to do it.
Sure.
And so they don't teach it.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Then it's not something that's just passed on. It's not in the genes. You got to, it's got to be taught, and it's got to be learned. So.
But not forcefully taught.
No, it can be by example or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, if your parents never teach you to balance a checkbook, it's not something you're just naturally going to do, or whatever. I mean, not that that's the Tao, but
yeah.
Anyway, I just think a lot of times we just think even that our kids know stuff too. Like, wait, you should know this.
Totally.
It's
I
like,
have
well,
that happen.
they haven't had any of that experience either.
Yeah.
But okay, so
those are good.
Yeah. Yep. So Love vanquishes all attackers and is impregnable in defense. Love wins, man.
Love conquers all.
Love wins, as it should be. So, okay, this one's probably
I got 17.
is going to be the most profound.
Yeah, I got one more.
Deep. Brandon's going to. This is his favorite one. I wish I
Well-
would have picked a favorite. Dang it.
Well, I'm not sure it's my favorite. I just know that this is the one that I really like. Didn't want to leave off the list.
Okay.
Okay. 17 says, "To know Tao alone, without trace of your own existence, is the highest. Next comes loving and praising it, then fearing it, then despising it.
Okay.
If one doesn't trust himself, how can he trust anyone else? The great ruler speaks little, and his words are priceless. He works without self-interest and leaves no trace. When all is finished, the people say, it happened by itself."
Okay. So, what do you like about that one?
So this first part, I sat there for a long time, like literally a day. I went on a walk that evening, and I thought about it. This one made me think a
Oh,
lot.
Brandon actually contemplated
Because
with this
yes,
one.
because this one was bugging me at first. I mean, the whole it mentions to know Tao alone without trace of your existence is the highest, right? So and then it says next comes loving it and praising it.
Mm-hmm.
But then this word started to bother me. Then fearing it, then despising it, right?
Okay.
I was kind of bothered by what is this? What's going on here? So you have these 4 levels. Okay.
Yeah.
First thing is, and this is the highest. This is the highest, right? Maybe a different translation was better. What is
Well, this one says, very few are aware of the highest. Okay.
Okay.
Then comes that which they know and love. Then that which is feared. Then that which is despised.
So let's use this one here.
Okay.
This one's a little bit
Yeah,
better in
this
this way.
one.
So there's those first 4 lines. The highest one, right? Is when you don't even is when there's no trace. No one. It's the very highest
Maybe
level.
this level of people.
And
like,
the very highest level is
or
when
why
people,
people act.
when people say we did it.
Yeah.
Because there's no obvious ruler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then comes that which they know and love, then that which is feared, and then that which is despised. Right? So I thought of this poem that I've heard, and everybody's heard it, by Alexander Pope. Have you ever heard that one?
I don't know. You
Alexander
tell me.
Pope has this poem that is called, this is what he says. He says, "Vice is a monster of so frightful mien, as to be hated needs but yet to be seen. As to be hated needs but to be seen. Yet seen too oft, familiar with her face, we first endure, and then we pity, and then we embrace." Right? So it's kind of the opposite, it's kind of like the opposite direction.
Okay.
Right? And I was thinking about that, and I thought about this is the pattern of people's relation with the Tao. At the highest level, it's there, and we don't see it. Okay, but then at one level below that, we love it, and we embrace it. One level below that, we kind of start fearing it, and then one level below that, we despise it. And I think about the United States, right? The founding fathers, they were like religious men in a certain way, but they weren't pushing their religion on people. They were
Well, they're deists. I mean,
correct.
So they had it even,
so they actually,
or a lot of them were.
a lot of them were, okay?
Read Thomas Paine, his thing. You'll be like, what?
Yeah.
This is one of the, people don't realize what the religious history of the United States was.
But then 100 years later or so, we have the Great Revival, right? We have everybody preaching from big pulpits.
Yeah.
And everybody loves God, and everybody's running around in these big old camps and going from religion to religion, and everybody loves God. Mm-hmm. Then in the early 1900s, it's pushed at the table. Everybody's fearing it. You do this is how you act.
Well, it wasn't until the 50s that,
Sure.
with the communist thing that the real kind of Christian, all that stuff
Correct.
was put in. Anyway.
And then you're right, exactly, like adding in God we trust and
Yeah.
stuff. And then today it's like despised.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I think and so what's the next level? Below that, right? It has to we have to reset. Right? This is how
Wait, so what's next? What is the next one?
A dark age until there's another enlightenment.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that's not good. Brandon, I need some good news.
Anyway,
see, I was thinking this is how people, the way they act, that which they know,
so the reason
they act out of love, fear, or despising, or awareness. Those are I don't know.
So
Maybe
the way
not.
I liked it is to think of a ruler, okay? The best rulers are the ones that you don't know are even there.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
The second best rulers are the ones that people love.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's a great talker.
The third best rulers are the ones that people fear.
Ooh, I like this. I like it.
And then the fourth, and then of course, then the rulers, then the other rulers are ones that then eventually people despise them.
Okay.
And it has to do with what it has to do with is the amount that the ruler flaunts and glories in
the
himself.
best ruler is one that you don't even know is there.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's actually in some of the other ones they say that.
Correct. Yeah, leaving with no trace.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Because if you're living the Tao, you're not even gonna You're not. I mean, I'm trying to think of how to say it.
You're not there. I was never here.
Never here.
Like
oh yeah, Brandon. He was a nice guy.
Yeah. He left no trace though.
But I'm saying, where'd he go? Whatever happened to that guy? I don't know. Anyway, okay, well, enough rambling from us. I'm so glad you shared that one, Brandon.
Yeah, me too.
That was probably the deepest.
I'm sure it was.
like, wait.
What's going on here?
So read the first one though.
Okay, here's the first one.
Oh, okay. You're gonna read it?
Yeah.
I was telling them to read it, but
I'll read it.
We'll read it.
Because
actually, we should have started off with the first one because it sets the stage.
The first one is probably the most profound of all, right?
Yeah, the first one you're like, oh, I get what they're trying to do. We should have read this right off the bat.
It would be a crime if we didn't read it.
It would be. We'd
So
be
here's
arrested.
the first one.
We would be arrested.
A way that can be walked is not the way. A name that can be named is not the name. Tao is both named and nameless. As nameless, it is the origin of all things. As named, it is the mother of all things. A mind free of thought, merged within itself, beholds the essence of Tao. A mind filled with thought, identified with its own perceptions, beholds the mere forms of this world.
Ooh, yeah.
Tao and this world seem different, but in truth they are one and the same. The only difference is what we call them.
Yeah, we should have read that first. Dang it.
I guess there's one more one more part here. How deep and mysterious is this unity? How profound, how great. It is the truth beyond the truth, the hidden within the hidden. It is the path to all wonder, the gate to the essence of everything. So yeah, that just like sets the stage for how this is. There's two sides to this. Yeah. And how, but yet there's only one.
The deepness, like, hey, if setting the stage, if you can name it, that's not it. It's just mystery, and it's kind of like it when you feel it or whatever. It's not something that it's like Tat when he was being taught by Hermes. Mm-hmm. And Hermes trying to explain to him, okay, it's like I'm here in front of you, but I'm changed. And then eventually,
I love that part.
Tat's like, oh wait, at the end of it, he's like, I'm getting it. I'm in everything, but I'm not, and all this stuff. And you're like, yes, you finally got it. It's something I can't teach you. It's something I can talk about. It's whatever, but you're not going to get it till you get it. And that's...
Yep.
So if somebody says they have it, they don't got it.
They don't got it.
Don't believe them.
We don't got it.
I definitely don't got it.
We don't got it.
It's funny because, I talk... Sometimes I'm talking, I'm like, yeah, man, if this is the, if they do this, then they're definitely don't got it. And I'm some kind of expert, but this is a really good, deep thing. And you could even just take, a verse a day
Yeah.
and,
Those
if
are
you
totally one that you can do that with.
contemplate it throughout the day, like you did with that one.
Yeah, the greatest one.
Yeah. How long did you take to contemplate? Because gosh, Brandon, you didn't really have that much. No, you had stuff. It made sense to you, and maybe
Sure.
not
It was more profound
necessarily
to me
to
at the
me.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the one about the inside and outside. Not going outside. Sometimes it just things will hit you.
It hits you, and that's all that matters.
But this is one that
Who am I to
doesn't
say
have
what's
any
profound?
crazy like things or it's just short, a lot of short things that will make you maybe look at the world a little bit different.
Yep.
So go inside to go outside. Think about it.
Yeah, deep.
That's my, I'm going to retranslate.
Travel the world by staying at home.
Yeah. Especially in this time.
Yeah.
Stay
Google Earth.
safe, folks.
Well, thanks, Mark. That was really good.
Yeah. That was interesting. It'll be interesting to
Yeah.
hear how it came out.
I can't wait to listen to this.
Like, I don't know if I want to. Anyway, no, but well, next time I don't know what we're gonna do.
It will be a surprise because it is for us right now.
Yeah. So, and it might be a week or two, or there might be a little time in between.
Yeah, we'll see.
More than usual.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, we shall talk to you later.
All right. Good to see you. Have a good one.
Good seeing you. Hey, Brandon, is that your note? Look at that note. You ate my dad. You are my dad.
All right.
You should have read that.
I'll read it. This is a note from my dad.
Are you recording?
No, yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
The bonus, this is a note from my son, Enoch. I was using this as a bookmark, I guess. Dear Dad, I am super happy that you are my dad.
Ah.
You are awesome and talented and everything, and you're funny. Can you read me
The
first verse of the... Oh, I know which one. Can you read me the first verse of the Spiritual Emerson from Enoch?
What? Nice.
Yeah, good kid, huh?
Like, okay,
that's why I have
Brandon,
it as my
I
bookmark.
believe that you are helping him to inherit, what was that thing?
What's sad is I don't know if I ever did read
You're like, that's like that song, The Cat's in the Cradle.
Yeah, I love that one.
I wrote you a note, Dad.
And someday he's going to be
Turned
like, I'm
out
too
just
busy,
like
Dad.
you,
I'm
Dad. You're like, you're old. You're like, Ina, can you read me the Spiritual Emerson? And he pulls out that thing. He's like, Dad, I don't got time for that.
I actually shared that song with my kids a few weeks ago.
You did?
We do Music Mondays.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and so we went over that song together.
You know what song you need to do is The Year of the Cat.
By
I don't know who sings it. I like that
I'll have to
song.
look it up.
Something about that. The Year of the Cat. Kind of reminds me. It's an old song, but something about it. It's got strings in it. And
I'll have to listen
It's a
to
good
listen
one.
to it. Hey, we tricked you. Now we're leaving.
bye.
Have a good one.